What's up, all of my beings of light, art, culture, and knowledge? I appreciate you for being here with me on the black side of liberty. It's your man, Governor Wildstar. Why am I the governor? Because I govern my damn self. That's what this is all about, is self-governance, autonomy, and you being able to call the shots over what happens in your own life. You know what I mean? Um, and my guest today is all about that. So I appreciate you guys for being here. Be sure to, of course, drop any comments or questions live during the broadcast, and we'll be happy to add those during our discussion, okay? But like I said, my guest today is all about independence and breaking away from the status quo. So I'm going to be introducing him to you here shortly. But first, I'm going to play this video. Hope you guys enjoy it as much as I will. Here we go. Hold on, let me bring it up. Hold on. My guest said there's no volume on the video. Is that correct? Is there no volume? Because I can hear it on my end. Excuse me. All right. Anybody out there watching, please be sure to let me know if you're able to hear the video, the sound of it on it. But it is on YouTube. It's Project 17 AY Young docu-series trailer EPK 2022. If you guys aren't able to hear it, definitely be sure to check it out right there on the link. I'll go ahead and finish playing it just a little bit longer, and then we'll go ahead and introduce my guests, okay? Just want to make sure there isn't any technical difficulties. But if you guys can hear it, definitely drop a thumbs up or something. Let me know. All right, all right. Well, hopefully you guys were able to hear that fully. And I don't want to hold my guests hold them up any longer. So I'm going to introduce him to you now. My man, AY Young. What's up, Young?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Black Side of Liberty, brother.
What's up, bro? What's yeah, I couldn't hear that but it was looking crispy though. I know it's gonna be. Yeah,
Oh
man, let's
yeah, for
change the
sure. It
world,
looked
bro.
dope, man. That's a good video production right there. You got some good people on your team there, it looks like. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
definitely,
appreciate
bro.
you for being here again on the Black Side of Liberty, where we talk about self-autonomy, independence, and liberating humankind. So you
Beautiful.
definitely fit that mold to a T, it sounds like. And just off of that video, it definitely lets us know that you're out there making major things happen,
Man.
for the whole of humanity. So I did want you to do a brief introduction. So if it's okay with you, if you wouldn't mind just telling the people out there who is AY Young, you know what I'm saying? And where do you come from? We see a little bit with what you're trying to do, but why? You know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's always a thing about why. Well, first of all, what's up, man? I'm glad to be on here, brother. And yeah, I am AY Young. I'm founder of something called the Battery Tour, and then I'm one of the 17 United Nations like young leaders of the world. So and yo, man, I mean, why do I do what I do? I mean, this is what I think in general. I think that in life, we should do what we love to do every day. Like like we should be living our passion every day. And for me, change comes from passion. But in order to know, like what your passion is, figure that out. You need to know what your why is. And I guess to say what mine is, and I do a lot of things, but I was really inspired by my dad, my family, my parents, watching them change Kansas City. Ivanhoe neighborhood. My dad was the president, built Ivanhoe neighborhood, and I watched as a kid. I watched change. I always wanted to change the world and like make an impact. Doing what I love to do. That's my why, and kind of empowering people to do the same. And yeah, man. I mean, that's where everything comes from. And of course, I love music, and that's my vehicle. You know.
Wow, that's a very creative story. It sounds like it's actually still coming to fruition, and developing as we speak. I mean,
Yeah,
like
bro.
how
I'm just getting started. Like I'm
I was
just
I was
getting
just
started,
about
bro.
to say, man, like when did you even get this idea kind of up and running and moving full steam ahead?
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's like everybody's like, it's funny. People be asking me like, did you set out to be a young leader of the world, or like everyone like,
Right.
like this. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like a 10-year overnight. It's funny because somebody was like, man, you're blowing up overnight. You're working with the Weeknd, Billie Eilish. Is like, bro, it's been 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like I started setting up and doing shows on the Country Club Plaza in 2012, 100% powered by renewable energy in 2012. That
Wow.
was a long time ago, bro.
Yeah,
You
for
know what
sure.
I'm
That's
saying?
over a
But
decade.
it was steps. You know what I'm saying? Like it was steps. Like at first, I got on this TV show called X Factor. I got like 4 yeses from the celebrity judges. L.A. Reid, Britney Spears, right? Those are my mentors. And I learned a lot about the music industry when I was on the X Factor show. I got out the show and I wanted people to hear my music. I wanted to like say hey to the world. And me, we from Kansas City, bro. All we know is maybe Tech Nine that did it here. You know, you know what I'm saying? So I made this song called Say Hey, and I would hit up like all the local stuff, Boulevardia, Plaza Art Fair. If you live in Kansas City, they got the Plaza Art Fair, they got all this stuff, lighting ceremony, got a few things. I would try, and I would be hit with, or I would try to play at the bigger venues, that Beaumont Club back in the day in Westport and all these venues, the Uptown, whatever. And I would try to open it. They'd be like, oh, well, how many followers do you have? People would
Right.
ask me that. Or how many tickets has your last tour sold out? Or just like in general, right? Like in general, it's just like it was almost like you needed to know who you need to know. It's like who do I need to know to be at
Mhm.
the Plaza Art Fair if I'm not qualified?
Right.
So I was just like, screw this, dog. Like I would look at Ed Sheeran, I would look at Usher, I would look at rappers, singers, whoever, and Bruno Mars is playing all the time. It looks like he's doing what he loves to do. Why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't you, bro? I mean, you're doing this podcast. We get into what you love to do. But it's like, why shouldn't I? So I was just like, how do I power a concert anywhere?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how it started. I figured out, oh my God, wow, energy is the base resource. We all need energy and food and water, right? We all need energy. And if you store enough energy, you can power anything. And so that's what I started doing. I started storing energy in batteries and doing like 8 to 10 hour concerts every day.
Wow.
On the Country Club Plaza and around Kansas City.
Man, that is incredible, because you are absolutely right. When it comes to gigging and stuff, one of those type of barriers that you end up facing to kind of get your foot in the door is those gatekeepers, and they're pretty much the ones calling the shots. You're either paying an arm and a leg,
All
$500,
day.
$1,000, $1,000 just to perform.
All day.
And a lot of people don't understand the grind as an artist, what it takes to actually make it. Like you said, it took 10 years. You've been at it hardcore, but it took that commitment, and you having to go through those hoops and setbacks
and figured out my way around it. So
right.
Here's the thing: is people want to be a basketball player. So I went D1. I played at UMKC, but I got recruited to play at Gonzaga. But people want success. You know what I'm saying? But they don't want to take the steps.
Right.
See, now, most artists in Kansas City or around the world in general, you say, okay, well, I can't play at the Boulevardia. I can't do the art fair. They're not returning my emails here. They give up.
Mm-hmm.
They do an open mic. For me, it was like, okay, well, Usher's doing a song, a show every day. It looks like, it looks like Bruno Mars is on tour. Why can't I be, right?
Yeah.
And I use Google, I YouTube. I figured out a way to get a yes, no matter how many no's that were coming, right? I didn't take it and internalize it and quit. I said I'll figure out a way. Now, figuring out a way for me was figuring out how to set up an entire concert, and then power it without using electricity. Like we're not plugging into a venue here. But
right.
But whether I was trying to be the best basketball player and I needed to shoot 500 shots in the morning and 500 at night, which is what I did to earn my scholarship to be a great player, I put in the time and the work. You know what I'm saying? Instead of making the excuses, like, no matter what you do in life, I believe in like 10,000 hours, mastering something, and putting the work in every day, taking a step every single day. And that's what I've done more than anything. 10 years is really saying 10 years of consistency. Close to 900 concerts powered by renewable energy, because every single day I took a step forward. It's that simple.
Yeah. One of the things that you did say that I appreciate is you saying about coming up with your own workaround, because that is, I guess, one of the key factors that deter a lot of people from wanting to pursue their dreams is they feel like they must go through the necessary channels or pathway, that everybody else took to get there, instead of coming up with their own, and then performing at a venue. One of those key factors, of course, is being able to have your own sound equipment, your sound engineer, and your mics and all of that. But you took a even bigger step by saying, I can create my own venue by supplying power to make sure I'm able to energize all of this equipment and basically provide that performance directly to the audience. So that's extremely innovative, and I definitely applaud you for that. Hopefully more people follow your footsteps. But taking it to a step further, with you also being approached by the UN to, as you said, kind of step up to this plate to be a world leader for the young. So, how did that transition coming about for you?
Uh-oh. Repeat that again. I'm sorry, I lost you. It didn't transfer over to my headphones like it normally does.
Oh, no problem. I was asking, I said, about you taking the transition from, making your own venue and performing, using renewable energy to, power your venue. but then also taking that to the world stage by way of the UN. Like, how did that end up coming about? Because that doesn't sound random. Do you hear me there? You still with me, my man? I lost you there. Young, you still with me? If you can hear me, let me know. You got like uh your video is frozen. Low quality bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, your sound is
Yeah.
digitized.
What was
No, you're losing signal, man. I can't hear you.
Yeah. So again,
No, you're still cutting in and out. All right. I think he lost his signal there. Hopefully, he'll be able to jump back into the session here. That again is A.Y. Young, musician and founder of the Battery Tour. He basically used solar power to power his own electronic devices so he can have concerts, his own concerts, create his own venue instead of going and knocking on doors and trying to perform at certain places where it's more popular. He brought the crowd to him and created his own popularity by doing so. So that's what it takes, is for us to come up with different ways to where we can again not have to be reliant upon the powers that be in order to gain the success that we want in life. It looks like brother A.Y. Young is definitely doing that, and hopefully he'll be an inspiration to others out there like you watching. What's up, TJ? Says dope move. Hope he gets back on here. Same here, definitely. I want to hear more what he has to say, especially about being invited to the UN to speak on behalf of the Youth Council, because we know they recruit a lot of younger people to get their message out about sustainability and global warming, or climate change is now called, but other issues that of course impacts us here in America, and we want to know about his role in doing so. He said he shared this. Thank you so much, TJ. I appreciate you for sharing. Sharing is caring. We definitely want to bring more awareness to people like AY Young and what he's doing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, TJ. And everybody out there that's watching, if you are tuning in just now, like I said, I was speaking with my guest AY Young, who looks like he is back into the studio. So let's see if he has a better connection than before.
He has.
You with me?
My apologies, bro. We back in this meeting now. So yo, and
you gotta get a solar power like generator on your phone or something. Get you some of that Starlink satellite system,
I got this whole place batteried up. You see the solar in the back.
I see. Right?
Yeah, we straight, dog.
Well, welcome back. I appreciate it. Yeah, I lost you there while I was asking about you being able to kind of gather the attention from the UN to have them invite you onto the world stage as a speaker for the Youth Council. I guess can you explain more about how that ended up coming about?
Yeah, and to explain that, I'll go back. So when I started doing these 8-hour shows, because I obsessed over energy. It's funny because I'm you kind of in this area of Kansas City, so it's funny. I worked at the Country Club Plaza, Express, the movie theater, construction company, just to make the money to buy the gear I need in the batteries. But anyway, I started doing these performances, and it'd be maybe a couple of weeks in. 3-4 hours, down, like I'd be like, I'm AY. I was saying my name. This is my song, Say Hey, and I would look back and I would see batteries. I'm like, this is the Battery Tour, and that's how the name came, right? And then people would donate, like, oh, bro, we love when you do Michael Jackson, Prince, or we love when you do Garth Brooks, or your original song is great. Here's $5. We're your outlets. We power the tour. You know what I'm saying? That's how the whole movement of being an outlet for change, right? Like being plugged. So that's when you know what I'm saying? I had my eureka moment
when I was like, oh my God, you're right. You're an outlet. She's an outlet. The old lady that's 60 that's chilling, everyone in the world is an outlet for change, right? And plugged into each other, the local community, as a state level, nation, the world, we can power change. So I was like, okay, shoot. Well, music's a universal language. I got to go use music, to go get the world plugged in. So I started taking the donation money, what I'm saying, people were throwing in the butt, and went from city to city and state to state to go get the world plugged in, right? Now that was like 3 years. So now it's like year 4, year 5 of the battery tour, 5, 6 years ago. I say 6, 7 years ago. You're right. And I'm sleeping in my car. Here's step 3, because step 1 was getting denied. Step 2 was, oh my God, everyone's an outlet. Step 3 is I'm doing this tour. I'm bringing people together all over, America, and I was sleeping in my car.
Wow.
And I was just in these cities and places, and I realized, oh my God, like there's small towns, out here in America that don't have internet.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know if you probably know this from maybe doing some road trips, bro. Like some places have really bad issues with the grid, like electricity, like messes up.
Oh yeah. I mean, here in California, as a candidate went, ripping and running on the campaign trail, I would run into all types of little cities where I just had no cell phone service. There was, no internet service whatsoever. I'd have a meeting through Zoom, can't, connect because there's just nothing. But yeah, you're absolutely right. There's
It's crazy.
a lack of connectivity around the nation.
It's nuts, and that's in America, like listeners in America. Like you think that's the place everybody plugged in. So I'm looking at my phone one time. I did some research. Okay, I'm like, I got the power to do. I could do a concert. This place, the grid ain't even working. So I'm googling. I found out 1 billion people don't have energy in the world. Right. So that's when I was faced with the choice. And it's the first choice of being an outlet. I say this stuff about being an outlet, but I actually lived it. That's why I'm here to inspire people to be it. So I said, oh my God, okay, 1 billion people don't have electricity. Right. So I got to build something to go get them plugged in. Right. So that's what I did. I was like, okay, how do I build something? So I built what you see behind me, the solar box. I started using that to power the battery tour shows as well, not just batteries, but the solar and it was really built for more like developing nations. But that's when I switched the model of the battery tour, and the battery tour became this kind of music for impact model where I used every concert, to raise money to send one person, one village access to energy, right? To build, fund and deploy like these units. And for me, I was like, I can be an outlet. I can take an action every day. I can keep doing these concerts every day. And each time I'll get one person plugged in until all 1 billion are plugged in. So that's what I started doing. Fast forward to like 1.5 years. Like I would say this is the final phase of like how I got to here, phase 4, if you will, of a 10-year journey. I came back from Honduras, like you saw in that footage. And, I'd done well over 800 concerts. I got over 17 countries access to energy. That's a lot by myself. And I thought when I came back to, Kansas City, Missouri, some rich guy was going to be like, oh, here you go, man. Here's $1 million. Keep helping the world, exactly. Right? Or like battery tour powered by Energizer. Right, or powered by Tesla.
That would be brilliant as far as a sponsorship opportunity. Energizer, get on the ball.
Bro, that's what we're gonna make that happen someday. That's the dream, but it never happened. And I was like, I was done, man. To be honest, and I know you guys, entrepreneurs, if you're listening, you, brother, hopefully this inspires you. Like, I was just like, you start cursing at the city, wondering ain't nobody supports you, And then I stopped that. I was like, I'm going to plug into the entrepreneurial resources of this city. Maybe I just haven't asked the right questions, met the right people, whatever. So I went into work. I got the fast track tech venture thing. I got the Arts KC grant. I dove into this entire non-artistic space. That's when I learned about something called Climate Week, which is in New York. It's this huge weekend where all this climate stuff happens. People talk about the environment, whatever. I went to this thing, met this dude, Al Gore. He's ran for president a while ago, shook his hand because he was talking. He had this big stage, and he was talking about all this stuff about saving the planet. I shook his hand. I was like, bro, this is dope, but you should be powered by battery tour. right? Because he was talking about saving the world,
Right.
but technically he was destroying it while talking about sin, right?
Right.
Easy.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, they think we're not paying attention, but we see that, all of these supposed green, enthusiasts and advocates, but then they're using oil powered, whatever electronics are in. And yeah, they do solar
It makes sense to me,
events
bro.
that's being powered by, by oil. So it's
It
like,
didn't make sense to me. I was
doesn't make sense.
like, you should be powered by battery to it tomorrow. Like, and so from that was the changing point for me, because right there I was hearing about this girl named Greta Thunberg. Everybody, Greta
Yeah.
Thunberg, she's coming to the U.S. on a boat. Oh my God! And so I went to the thing and I looked behind her, because she's talking, and I see a diesel generator. I was like,
right.
So what I did was, again, the same mentality, man, screw this, like, screw this. I'm going to go do a concert. Screw this. I started hitting up these organizations and these people saying, hey, if you're going to talk about saving the world, if you're going to talk about ocean, if you're going to talk, then do it powered by renewable energy. Don't destroy the world while talking about saving it. I started powering speeches and panels. Next thing I knew, I was in the UN, where you saw that little thing. I was dancing in the UN. Somebody invited me in there. I showcased the battery tour. I met this dude named Paul Hawken, who wrote Project Drawdown, the biggest book on climate. He became my mentor. He nominated me to be a young leader. Didn't think I was going to win. I heard the thing. Somebody said something about 18,000 nominations, 195 countries or something. I'm like, yeah, dude, I can't even win like a,
right.
What I'm saying, a free giveaway, whatever. But that's when they told me, I was a young leader, and now we can really move forward and talk, because I didn't even know what the goals were. Like, when they commented, like, oh, you're achieving goal 7, clean energy. I was like, what? Like, what? Yeah, that's what I'm achieving. You're right. I'm a sustainable artist. I don't know what nigga. And then they were like, you're achieving goal 13, climate action. I'm like, oh yeah, that that goal. But when I looked at the goals, I was like, wow. Because a lot of people talk about climate or sustainability, right? But that fits under one goal. That's goal 13, climate action. These 17 goals are 17 things that the United Nations and all the countries are like, we have to do this, by 2030. And in general, we need to do it. Like, everyone needs to have food, goal 2. Everyone needs no one should be living in poverty in 2022, bro. Like, no poverty. Gender equality, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, fits in reduced inequality, goal 10. Like, is these 17 kind of universal things that everyone plugs into. That's when I came up with Project 17 in like 30 seconds. But to be honest, I have been doing this for 10 years. It was the same model of music for impact. And that's where I'm at today.
So it kind of just fit in with each other, basically. And it sounds as if your tenets are based on a more solid principle than the UN's. I hate to say it, because like you said, they're out there advocating for different changes and shifts to renewable energy, but yet using that same old energy off of fossil fuels that's been destroying the planet, so they say. And that's actually another thing I want to talk about, is kind of like the hypocrisy that we see in the sustainable, I guess, renewable energy community, because lots of the larger promoters for that cause, for that issue, tend to be hypocrites, especially politicians. We know that. They get on the stages, start campaigning, talking about shifting to renewable energy, cleaning up our water sources, but yet never coming up with solutions like what you're talking about, and it seems like they've been doing that year after year, election after election for decades now, but we haven't seen any significant changes to put us on that pathway to where we're not making such a drastic impact on our planet. So how do you feel, being an artist that's, again, standing true to those principles and that tenet of, wanting that change, when you're also dealing with those type of people?
Yeah, man. I mean, There's so many ways to answer that question. There's so much going on and involved with legislation and government and this and that and incentives and why people are doing what they're doing when they're doing it
Right.
for sake of money, right? Because money is
Yep.
the root of, you know. But um, you know, this is what I'm in general with music, with whatever. I'm always been a fan of walking the walk and talking the talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I'm just taking the angle of walking the walk, like not just the message in the music. Like when you hear my music, it's dope music, it's top 40 music, but the message in it actually connects with the overall vision of what I'm doing. You know, I'm not just like, yo, you know, be healthy or do this, and then I'm like rapping about boobs and butts and this and that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I say, I'm trying to bring a cultural, a paradigm shift to the entire industry, and that's what I'm bringing, man. Like I'm bringing an entire shift. I mean, we're in a new world now where a chance to rapper is possible, right? Independent.
yeah.
Macklemore was possible. People like Prince changed the game when he turned his name to a symbol. Michael Jackson owning the Beatles masters. Like I saw something from Wiz Khalifa the other day talking about when his deal runs out with the label, he will no longer go with the label, right? Like labels are becoming not even necessary.
Yeah,
Like we
absolutely.
are, right? Like this. So I'm bringing the future. The next step is for an artist. Not even you might not even need a venue. You just need your cell phone to tweet out you're performing, and the people that care about you can show up and see you play.
Right.
And you don't negatively impact the environment. I'm coming from more of a different social angle and an impact model too. At the end of the day, for me, I don't understand some of even nonprofits. Like I spent my life seeing nonprofits say, "Hey, donate money for this," you know, and then like you'll do it, and then you always get left with like, "What happened to the
What
money?"
happened? Right. Where did my money go? Damn it. I want to know.
I'm used to doing a concert and literally a kid in Haiti is receiving and he's smiling because he has electricity in his neighborhood.
Right.
Like I'm used to seeing it happen. So that's what I'm
And you
bringing.
made it happen instantly. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference is you're actually putting the money into action, immediately versus going through the rigmarole, the whole begging for permission to do so. Man, that's what
It
it
just doesn't
takes.
make sense. When you talk about all these people that don't have water, but there are great organizations like water.org, like Charity Water, that do actually deliver water to people. They just need to have those projects funded. It's like, so with the water goal, like when we dive into 17, and we haven't talked about Project 17, but it's like with this album, with that song, the water goal song, which is about water. It's like I'm trying to do that with Pharrell, Jaden Smith, two guys that care about water. That song is going to finance people to literally get water. It's really that simple. Like I'm literally donating the proceeds of the records to the action. Like
Wow.
to me, achieving these goals isn't hard. Like I don't understand why it's taking. So to me, again, I guess what I'm saying is like walking the walk has never been. It's not a mystery to me, bro. Like if you want to be Kobe Bryant, the next Kobe Bryant, as great as LeBron James, there's no cutting corners. You get in the gym and you work every day. I mean, if you look at what Kobe put in this dude was doing 2-hour practices prior to every game, on top of waking up at 4 a.m. and shooting and work. Bro, there is no secret to being great and to achieving something. So I'm really here to just to see and make impact, like really that simple. Bring the world together.
But you're also taking action, and that's the biggest step because, like you said, a lot of people can talk about what it is they want to achieve, but they're not taking the necessary steps to actually make that happen. It takes discipline, it takes commitment, it takes sacrifice, and it sounds as if you've kind of experienced all of the above. But talking about Project 17, let's actually go into that as well as your music, because I do have a question about that. You are providing a different type of music to the hip hop scene, to the music scene in general. So, with you being Black, how are you received by the Black community for the type of music that you're putting out there? And, how does Project 17, kind of relate to that?
Yeah, man, good question. I mean, I don't know if I've ever been like received greatly. I feel like in the hip hop community, like, or just in the black community, bro.
You
Like,
ain't blinging, man. Come on, you know how it is.
I mean, they just not. I never rock with me for real. I feel like, the black community and the way music, the way, here this. I'll speak high level to you. Like at the end of the day, these heroes in our community musically, these hip hop rappers and stuff, they're property.
Right.
I'll tell you a story. I'll answer your question in a story. So this is why I love Chance the Rapper. Chance the Rapper had at this time written maybe 5 or 6 records for Kanye West, right? He hadn't released his first album yet, but he had 2 Chainz on a record called No Problems. You know, No Problems. You don't want no problems with me. He had 2 Chainz, Wayne, and like someone else. He was in a meeting with the record label about the record, and he was trying to get the song to be cleared. Basically, what I'm doing right now. Like I actually have some major artists on a couple of songs, but it has to be cleared first. Right.
You gotta get that permission slip.
Right. So here's the deal. Chance the Rapper wrote 6 or 7 songs for Kanye West. He already has Lil Wayne, 2 Chainz on the song, right? Mm-hmm. Just to clear that up, the dude's already came to the studio on the homie level, laid out the record. It's there. He just trying to get it clear, like say, hey, it's okay, I can release it. The record label goes, oh no, we don't know who you are. We don't know you. You can have my property on your song. Not unless it benefits us.
Right.
They got up and walked to the corner and had a meeting, Chance and his manager. And they were like, bro, what do we do? They're not gonna let them be on the song. And then the manager was like, he was like, tell them that you ain't gonna let them release them songs you made for Kanye unless. Now they went back and forth like, oh shoot, man, if Kanye finds out, Kanye, he might be flipping out. Like, nigga, give me my music. Why we know Kanye, right? But they took a gamble. They were like, well, if you say that, they'll have to say yes because they want Kanye's record to come out, So then they go back to the table and say, so hey, if you don't let Lil Wayne clear, if you don't let 2 Chainz on the record, then we're not gonna give you the song that I wrote for Kanye, right? Now that was a gamble. But the label's like, oh, shoot, bro, Kanye's deadline's coming out. We got to get the album out. And they're like, all right, fine. You can have it. Have the song. Just have the songs. We don't care. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this story, right? Lil Wayne is like a 40-year-old man, right? I mean, grown man, right? You're like, 2 Chainz is a grown, like, bro, you're telling me that Lil Wayne can't allow his own self to be on something he wanted to be on. Right? That's the world I'm walking into.
Because like you said, these artists, they're property, they talk about it. Prince has talked about it by putting a symbol on his face saying slave. Michael Jackson talked about it openly, about his issues with Sony and Tommy Mottola and all of that shit. And NWA talked about their issues, with their record labels. And it just goes on and on and on. It's sad that we kind of hear these stories that are repetitive.
And it's real. So when you talk about a community not embraced, that is a community that is in disarray anyway, that isn't even owned. I'm trying to empower those people to own themselves. Who owns AY? Right?
Exactly.
This is against the step, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'll stop, because what I'm doing, so.
You pushing the envelope. I mean, I was a rap artist and still am somewhat. I consider myself more of a raptivist nowadays, but I have my time with issues with the major labels going back and forth about these contract negotiations. And also, like you said, about those releases, songs with major artists. And if it's not cleared by their label, by their manager, their A&R, the list goes on. All of these people have to give an okay before the album ever sees light. And that's why a lot of artists never or a lot of people never hear certain songs from certain artists is because they're being told that they can't release that music, you know? So, yeah, it does kind of cheapen the amount of content that we receive as, you know, listeners of music, because we're getting kind of like this manufactured, you know, streamlined, hand selected type of material that's given to us. It's not truly genuine, and it's definitely not a free market, but you're circumventing that to again put your music out there. And as far as Project 17, would you mind breaking down, I guess, what role that plays into your music? I want to bring that up also right here.
Oh, sick. Yeah, and anybody listening, yeah, man, what's up, man? I mean, so I'm working on this album, this idea called 17, right? Which
Okay.
honestly, man, it's like We Are the World, Michael Jackson. Like it's like that. It's like because there's 17 goals. And
Hmm.
I'm making one song for each of these crazy goals. Like one of the goals is no poverty. One of the goals is like everyone needs access to energy. One of the goals is like gender equality for everyone. So that's some of the previews. So I'm doing one song for each goal, each song with a major artist. Bury Myself is with Tech Nine so far. Want to add maybe John Legend, a couple other guys. But I'm plugging in these artists to the goal they care about. So
Right.
for instance, Stevie Wonder is a messenger of peace. He wants to bring world peace, right? And he's in the UN with me. And so I'm working to get Stevie Wonder, right, on goal 16, the goal about peace,
Oh,
right?
that would be wonderful.
Right. And the idea is to just, yeah, the proceeds of the music is going to go toward the action. We're going to see people get food, get water, whatever. And so, yeah, 17 of the world's biggest artists or more, getting 17 companies or corporations that care about any one of those goals to plug in and help power it, to clear the record, to cover the cost of production. And then I have like 17 or more impact partners, which those are basically just organizations that like do the work, like those nonprofits that get people water, feed people. They're going to be empowered by the music,
Right.
and so yeah, we're super transparent with this project. It's like 75% of every, dollar of the song, 75% of all the proceeds go to the impact. And then 25% is coming back to Battery Tour to keep everything powered up, overhead, covering costs. And we're really just going to Robin Hood this thing for change.
That's incredible, man. So I love the fact that you kind of, I guess, geared the album to promote the message of these 17 kind of steps, and you're using each song to promote that message specifically. You know, that way listeners can kind of get an idea of what those 17 goals are from the UN, and of course, hearing your
Yeah,
your
you see
delivery.
how I get it, and it's dope for the artist. Like, what's nuts is like when I sat down with Tech in my parents' garden, we're going over the stuff. I was like, man, take a look at this. What do you care about? It starts with what you care about. Like anyone
Right.
watching right now, I think everyone in the world, every company, everybody's an outlet. But I got to know what your passion is, right?
Exactly.
When Tech sat down, he didn't. He said, what sticks out to me, like all these are great. Everyone's gonna say that, right? But poverty. He was like, poverty means so much to me because I came from poverty. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I want to get people out of it. I said, power to tour, sing about it. When we're talking with Billie Eilish's people, it was like climate action. Obviously the weekend you can Google this. He cares about ending world hunger. That's
Hmm.
it. That's what you plug in at, right? So it's really dope because like it's also kind of, I think it's going to change the world because even with the other versions, I know this is getting into too much, but I have other versions of the album, not just the normal album. I'm doing like an acoustic version, EDM version,
Oh,
a
cool.
rock version. You know what I'm saying? Because dude, there's rockers, there's Green Day, there's Simple
Yeah.
Plan. These are humans that care about something, so they got to do the rock version of that thing. You know what I'm saying? So we're doing all that stuff, and there's the poetry album I really like because I realize if you're Jimmy Kimmel, if you're great at Thunberg, if you're you, homie, like you, I mean, you actually do music, so maybe you would, be a part. Who knows? I want to hear some bars, but like,
Let's
you
talk.
know, but like if you're just like Jimmy Kimmel or Oprah, I'm like, that's what We of the World lacked. You know,
Right,
We of
right.
the World was one song about one issue. Like, this is where I have Eddie Griffin, the comedian, who just like did his, or Jimmy Kimmel, whoever, saying, okay, I care about poverty, and they're sending 30 seconds in. Like, I can't wait to have Obama be like, look, Barack Obama, I'm plugged in to Project 17. Goal 1, really care about poverty. Please,
Right, right.
and then that's
That's
it. You're
Yeah.
done. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
And that's what, whether you're the TikTok influencer with like 50 million followers, you're the YouTuber with like 10 million subscribers, or you're Barack Obama, that, might be the goal that we hear from all of y'all. So this is the project, bro. And it's going to change the world. And it is changing.
It is. I mean, it's brilliant. And I can see it already kind of laying the foundation to be world changing. You're already doing it. You're going out. You've actually done more than most artists, including myself, to be able to go around to different, countries and even perform. That in itself is a blessing. And then you paid that blessing forward by also giving them something in return, not just your music, but something tangible, something that's going to change their lives, and the next generation and the next and the next, so it's something that's everlasting. I did want to touch on one more subject before I let you go, because you were talking about, getting money, and I'm all about that, especially when it comes to us being able to fund ourselves out of slavery. Because what you were talking about with those musicians, the reason why they're continuing to allow themselves to be treated as property is because the ones giving them the money, you know what I'm saying, are the ones holding that carrot.
Yeah, I was hearing about what 21 Savage. It was NBA Youngboy or one of these guys, and like I think I was listening, like P Diddy or one of those more boss type dudes was telling him the deal was terrible. It seems like a great deal, but he took some like 4-album deal and they paid him like $4 million or something.
Oh my God!
It seems like a lot of money, right? Like,
yeah,
big deal, and probably didn't need.
Probably made $4 million per album. Yeah.
But the album he's about to drop gonna make 9 times that, plus the merch and everything else that they take 360 from. But see, for some reason, all these artists out here thinking they gotta have this label support. It's like the label's going to the radio with $250,000 of your money, and they're paying their connection to run it. You could do the same thing. Like, listen to Russ. Like, people want to talk crap about Russ. Listen to Russ, bro. This is, yeah. So yeah, but we've got to educate the artists more before but they get them when they're young. They get them out the hood. It's a slavery system, bro.
Oh, for sure. That's why, again, promoting independence in ways that we can, again, get out from under the rule of the establishment, the powers that be, to do exactly that. So I'm a big crypto enthusiast. I actually am looking at what you're doing and seeing a tremendous opportunity there, because, if you created your own coin to do these transactions with, then now you're creating your own currency, and people that buy into your currency are now buying into that economy, and they're able to get rich off of that. Like, artists that are selling their music as NFTs, they're able to circumvent the record label's control, because now they're taking it directly to the person. You can, if I buy an album for $1, a Snoop Dogg album, which just, he just took over Death Row, and now it's the first metaverse record label or blockchain record label. But if they sell the album for $1 and they only sell 1,000 of them, now I can go buy 5-10 copies of it, flip it, for $10, $20 or $50 or however many dollars. Now I'm making money off of it. Everybody's making money. And the only people that aren't making money is the record labels, and it kind of starves them out. But I guess a lot of the reluctance
time
is
is ending, and I would love to talk to you more about that. I mean, that's something that we definitely got to get into. Like, I have not crossed that bridge. I've been building this foundation, as you see. Like, it's a big thing to build. Where
oh
no
yeah,
one
for sure. I know.
it down. Yeah, but that's a space I want to get into soon.
It would benefit you tremendously because I mean, especially with what you're doing, because you're out there also promoting, using renewable energy to get us away from the fossil fuel energy system. So, but a lot of people's reluctance about cryptocurrency is that it's using a lot of energy. That's not true. I can mine on my phone.
Yeah,
Okay. So I'm not really burning a lot of electricity doing that. But if there's a bigger mining facility, yeah. But other cryptocurrencies on different blockchains doesn't even take that much power to mine, or even create. Now they have this proof of stake model, which is different because now you don't have to mine for the money. You can just show that people are actually using it, proof of work. So
wow.
it's a way for you to again create your own economy around what you're doing. And with you being an energy enthusiast, you'd also be, kind of introducing the crypto to a lot of people that are reluctant to it. You see what I mean? So
That's
definitely consider that. I would suggest so.
people keep talking about that. I've not crossed any bridge in that space at all. Been again more about that foundation, but now that the foundation is starting to get close to turning a corner, it's like you definitely want to think about that. Like,
Yeah, blockchain can be
early
extremely
time.
beneficial, definitely. And especially with you being able to fund yourself, as an independent artist, you know, um, you don't need to have millions of dollars, and but if you did, I'm pretty sure you would be one of those people that would live a life that reflects that wealth, by paying it to others and putting that wealth to use versus just using it for extravagances and luxuries and an ice chain and riding around in a Maserati and stuff. You don't strike me as that type of
No,
person. Hopefully, don't disappoint me, man.
never, bro, never. I mean, I know exactly why I'm here. Know
Good.
exactly why I'm here and what I'm doing.
All right, wonderful. Well, I do appreciate you being here and bringing your message to my audience and to the world by way of my podcast. So, brother A.Y. Young, God bless you, man. Godspeed, and definitely come back to the Black Side of Liberty, man.
Liberty. I
You
got you,
got
bro. I
that
like it.
right. You're all about, excuse me, you're all about that liberation. So just keep it going, man. And anything that I can do to help every step of the way, certainly let me know, and I'll be happy to do all that I can. All right.
Name, bro. Let's stay in touch, brother. For real.
For sure. Peace and blessings till next
Oh,
time. All right. That again, ladies and gentlemen, is Brother A.Y. Young, who is the founder of the Battery Tour. Please be sure to check him out on his website down at the bottom of the screen. You can see it, AYmusic, MUSIK.com. Please be sure to check him out. Do whatever you can to support him. Buy his music. I'm not sure if it's available on here, but I'm pretty sure you can make donations. He has the Battery tour dates, more about Project 17, and other ways to connect with him, of course, on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, all of that stuff. Be sure to, of course, also listen to his music on SoundCloud, um, TikTok, all of that good stuff, because it's people like him that needs to have the support of the community in order to be able to get that advancement, needed. Not the advancement provided by the record labels, the advancement provided by we, the people, you out there watching, okay, to help him get where he needs to be in life. And that's all it takes, okay, to make him the world changer that he needs to be in order to help all of us, because what he's doing is it could be extremely beneficial to a lot of people in the world. especially here in America. It sounds like he cares about the people in this country and wanting to make sure they're in a better off situation, especially since we're one of the most wealthiest nations in the world, but still have people living in extreme poverty to where they don't even have internet access. They don't even have power, period, to power their refrigerator or power their computer or power their home so they can actually have heat. It's awful what's going on right here in our own backyard. And it sounds as if, again, Brother A.Y. Young knows all about it. So please be sure to support him every way that you can. All right, Jack B says he followed him. Good to hear, definitely. Yeah, help build those numbers. Follow, follow, follow. Support, support, support. Sharing is caring. That's all it takes. The powers that be, they only care about numbers. Like he said, as an artist, you go to a venue and you want to perform or connect with another artist, major musician, and they ask you how many followers you have, how many albums have you sold, all of this stuff. So help him increase those numbers. All right, D-Man boy, 5,200 in the house, said he's wild, but he's also a star. Wildstar for governor. Yes, indeed. I will be back for that damn gubernatorial seat. I don't know if you guys have heard, but I've suspended my 2022 gubernatorial campaign due to lack of funding. And it's expensive running for governor. But running for city council of Fresno is much cheaper and it's much easier. So if you want to help me get into office, you can definitely do so, of course, by heading on over to taxationistheft.info. That's taxationistheft.info. You can see it right there at the bottom of your screen. Buy any of the Taxation is Theft merchandise. I'm an affiliate, so use my code GOWILD2022 to get a discount, and I'll get a kickback from every purchase to help, again, fund my activism and attempt to take over Fresno City Council. So if you want to help me help take over the world, help Brother A.Y. Young, help we the people, head on over to taxationistheft.info. Get the message out there about taxation being theft by buying any of this merchandise. And again, use my code GOWILD2022. And all of my hemp smokers out there, cannabis is the future, okay? And hemp is legal in all 50 states, despite what you guys may think. It is not like THC, marijuana, that good stuff that gets you high. This gets you high in another way because it's actually going to heal your body, your mind, body, and spirit with cannabis use. So head on over to nugofknowledge.com, buy any of these hemp products, and use my code WILDSTAR right there down at the bottom of the screen, WILDSTAR, for any of your purchases, and you'll get a discount. And like I said, it will help contribute to my efforts to reduce the impact of the war on drugs and what it has done to the Black community, to the brown community, to every community that has ever enjoyed cannabis and or any substance for that matter. Hell, shit, it's our body, our choice. We should be able to do whatever we want with it as long as we're not hurting anybody, right? All right, cool. And if you also believe that, be sure to make a direct contribution to me using Cash App, $Governor Wildstar now. You can send any contribution. I would greatly appreciate it. Like it said, it goes towards making sure that I'm able to fight the good fight. If I'm having to focus on, obtaining the 9 to 5 to pay my bills, then that prevents me from having enough time to go out there and pound the pavement and get the word out about spreading liberty, okay? Or being able to record these shows and have more guests like A.Y. Young on the show. So if you want to keep more podcasts coming, give me enough time to delegate from my busy schedule to do exactly that, then make a contribution today using Cash App, $Governor Wildstar now. I do appreciate all of you for being here again on the Black Side of Liberty. All of my beings of light, our culture of knowledge out there. Please definitely be sure to come back next time. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. be sure to definitely subscribe and share these videos, okay? Share, comment, like, all that good stuff, and connect with me on social media as well, all right? So till next time, I'm up out of here. I'll talk to you next time. Peace.